Prix. It's a first win for Mercedes. Hamilton wins the Hungarian Grand Prix.
George Russell trying to defend from his teammate. Can he do anything? I don't think he can. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the British Grand Prix.
Hamilton moves out and has to go round the outside with Kimi Räikkönen. Can he take the lead of the Italian Grand Prix? Yes, he can. Lewis Hamilton wins the Turkish Grand Prix and is a 7-time champion of the world. And it's lights out and away we go. And it looked like Lewis Hamilton got the better start. Nico Rosberg certainly got a very good start. And he's pressurising Vettel, who runs very close to Romain Grosjean. Felipe Massa has made a good start, but he's still behind Fernando Alonso. Down the outside goes Romain Grosjean, trying to put pressure on Sebastian Vettel. Lewis Hamilton leads. Vettel keeps hold of second place. Rosberg now challenging Grosjean on the run down into turn 2. He's got to watch out, Rosberg, because here comes Alonso round the outside of Grosjean. He's almost moved up a place, gets squeezed off the track, and that could allow Rosberg back in, but he's got Massa now for company as they head through turn 3, and Rosberg's gone wide and off the track, and Mark Webber there gets a visor full of dirt.
Grosjean get it. Oh, we got to lock up on the way into 4. Look at that, almost 3 abreast. Absolutely crazy there. Not working out well, and we got contact.
That's Nico Rosberg going off the track. He's gone off once, he's gone off twice, and the second time round could be catastrophic for him. Nico Rosberg in all sorts of bother at the start of this race. He's now got Sergio Perez for company, down in 11th place. Vettel makes his first pit stop. And will he get out now ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who is yet to come round now, is just coming round the final turn. 80 kilometres an hour. Mark Webber, you can see, going through your picture, past his teammate Sebastian Vettel. But where is Lewis Hamilton? There is Lewis Hamilton ahead of Jenson Button, and he is still ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Button might be ahead of Sebastian Vettel going into the first turn. Going to be tight. Button does squeeze past the current championship leader. Barely a few car lengths between Button in 3rd, Vettel in 4th, and Grosjean in 5th. And is Vettel going to go for it again? In the championship order, he's ahead of Fernando Alonso. That's good for him, but he won't want to be stuck behind for very much longer, and this time he is going to make it go. Down the inside, has to lock up his brakes. I don't know if they touched or not, but Jenson Button just about left enough room. Vettel had to lock up the brakes to avoid any major contact. And now look, here's Romain Grosjean, maybe getting interested going into turn 4. Not a place you would normally overtake, but he's waiting to pounce on any little slip-up that Vettel might put in. Vettel's got very close to Jenson Button here. I wonder if he's going to have a go into turn 4 and maybe push Jenson Button wide. He does. Sebastian Vettel spotted an opening there and took it. Couldn't wait for Button to come into the pits. Had to get the job done there because he just hadn't had chances before. Now Grosjean is having a go on Jenson Button, and they touch. Going into the chicane. It wasn't clean for Romain Grosjean. He takes to the escape road. Now Fernando Alonso fancies his chances to get past Button, and he does. And if he wasn't coming into the pits before, Martin, I think Button is coming in now.
Hamilton pits.
He does, from the lead of this race, and the gap between himself and Sebastian Vettel was 11 seconds. Vettel now moves into the lead once more of the Hungarian Grand Prix from Alonso and Webber coming down the straight at the moment, and Hamilton comes out behind Mark Webber, crucially though ahead of Kimi Räikkönen in the Lotus. And now out of turn 1, has Hamilton got a chance to get past Mark Webber and put himself back up into the top 3 once again on fresher tyres, remember.
He's got a huge amount of more speed down the pit straight, has Lewis Hamilton.
He's going around the outside here, Martin. He's going to try this, you know, going into turn 3. Fully committed Lewis Hamilton, and makes the move stick, puts himself back up into the top 3 again, and now Fernando Alonso in his sights. Hanging in the back of this battle is Kimi Räikkönen, now getting a bit closer to Mark Webber. And it's
pitted.
Yeah, Alonso pits. A sensible option maybe on that one. As Sebastian Vettel too pitting. You can see there they're getting busy in the Red Bull pit box. Our race leader spinning that those rear wheels before he's released from the jack. And that's Nico Rosberg out of the race. Now, is that overheating from an engine that's caused him to park up on the exit of turn 2? Lewis Hamilton, meanwhile, is coming round the final turn. It's a 4th win in Hungary. It's a first win for Mercedes. Hamilton wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. What a way to end the first part of the season. What a way to sign off before the summer break. That is going to be a holiday he will enjoy for the full 3 weeks.
Get in there, Lewis. Get in there. That's P1, man.
Brilliant job, Lewis. Fantastic drive. Brilliant job.
Exceptional job this weekend, guys. Thank you so much for all the hard work. This stuff was fantastic.
And it's lights out and away we go, and Kimi Räikkönen gets away well, covers off Sebastian Vettel. Hamilton slipstreaming behind Vettel, who pulls out to the left-hand side of this shot, and damage from Brendan Hartley. Lock up there for Kimi Räikkönen, but he makes the first chicane. Hamilton and Vettel almost touch. Verstappen's on the inside of Bottas, and he's made up a place. Going over the grass, it's Kevin Magnussen in the Haas. It's Räikkönen from Vettel, from Hamilton, Verstappen. Bottas under pressure now from Grosjean.
Going to be horrible flat spots on the front tyres of Kimi Räikkönen. They're side by side. Look at Hamilton alongside Vettel. Oh, so close. He'll struggle to get round there.
They touch, Martin. Hamilton and Vettel has been spun round. Disaster for Sebastian Vettel at the start of this race. He touched with Lewis Hamilton going through the chicane. Hamilton came off best. Sebastian Vettel losing places. He's down in 18th.
2 into 1 wouldn't go. There's just not enough space through there. But Hamilton hung it around the outside. And somehow it's Vettel that went around and has lost some bodywork for good measure.
We can see what happened to Brendan Hartley. Across comes Stoffel Van Dorn, across Hartley's front wing, and now he's just a passenger, really.
Yeah, I'm out.
Carlos Sainz is making a move on Grosjean as Hamilton makes a move on Räikkönen, gives him a little nudge towards the right-hand side. Hamilton moves into the lead of the Italian Grand Prix and down into the first chicane. Grosjean is scrapping away with Sainz, who has to go over the safety bumps. Behind them comes Esteban Ocon, but Lewis Hamilton wasted no time whatsoever to get past Kimi Räikkönen as Grosjean fights his way past Carlos Sainz again. And here comes Kimi Räikkönen back for round 2. Räikkönen regains the lead of the Italian Grand Prix, and Monza goes wild. It's all about the power, and on this occasion the glory eventually goes to Kimi Räikkönen. Sergio Perez and Kevin Magnussen through the Lesmos. There's no room there, and you can see it. Bodywork coming off the Force India and also the Haas as the stewards decide no further action between Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel. Bottas makes a move on Verstappen, and Verstappen locks up and then has to go over the speed bumps. He stays ahead of Bottas.
Charlie says we've used up our joker on that, so we won't be able to do that again. Just make sure you keep it clean at 1.
So Räikkönen making his stop, and making his stop early.
So Hamilton then has been told, do whatever he doesn't do. So if he comes in, you stay out. If he stays out, you pit, is what was going on there.
What's happened here to Daniel Ricciardo? Oh, he's had a new engine and it is smoking away like an old industrial mill chimney, quite frankly. A very nice change indeed. 2.4 seconds at the stop by the crew.
Bottas continues. A bit of team play going on here from Mercedes, giving Vettel right out of the picture. Can't join in.
So keep Kimi behind you.
And the Ferrari looks a handful mid-corner. It's just not giving him the rear grip he needs. Both Ferraris have damaged their left rear. And that's a bold overtake into Ascari there for Vettel. It is a question of whether he can catch Bottas and Verstappen, which is a tall order.
Oh, Valtteri Bottas has had a go into the first chicane, and he's obviously got it a bit wrong. There goes Max Verstappen, and Verstappen's now got a massive advantage. Verstappen's looking his mirrors. Where is he? Moves over there and touches.
Okay, Max, we have been given a 5-second penalty.
For what?
Don't worry about it. Get your head down.
No, don't worry about it. I gave them space. They do a great job in killing racing, honestly.
Hamilton's closer this time around, only half a second as they cross the line. Hamilton moves out and has to go round the outside with Kimi Räikkönen. Can he take the lead of the Italian Grand Prix? Yes, he can. Kimi Räikkönen's staunch defence of his Italian Grand Prix lead comes to an end on lap 45, and Lewis Hamilton, the championship leader, takes over the lead of this crazy race at Monza. The championship leader has come to Monza, and he is going to win once more as Hamilton takes the checkered flag and the Italian Grand Prix victory to lead 215 laps at Monza as well. Kimi Räikkönen comes home second for his 100th podium in Formula One. On the track, Max Verstappen finishes third. Valtteri Bottas, though, will be on the podium, and Sebastian Vettel does in the end finish in fourth place because of that 5-second penalty to Verstappen.
Get in there, Lewis. You are the man.
Thank you so much for all the hard work, guys, and for continuing to believe in me. I really appreciate it. And to my fans here as well, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And we're ready, and we are set for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. It's round 19, it's lights out, away we go. Bottas gets away well ahead of Verstappen, but Verstappen is coming back at him, and Lando Norris touches, and he's got a puncture on his rear left tyre as he clashed with a Ferrari. Verstappen takes the lead. He squeezed out Valtteri Bottas going through turn 2. Perez is in third, then comes the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc as we head down the Retta Reposta now, and he's getting a decent slipstream. It's Charles Leclerc, but he's being forced over to the left-hand side as Verstappen leads from Bottas, from Perez, Leclerc, and then Sainz, and the two Ferraris going wide, and Bottas as well.
Bottas wide. It's a Red Bull 1-2 there. So down into the tricky braking zone. It's downhill into turn 4, and Valtteri Bottas defending hard, but somehow they all made it through there. Sadly for Lando Norris, he's got the entire lap to go with a puncture.
Hamilton is up to 7th. We saw him through Ferradura, passing there Pierre Gasly. Full throttle, full blast, all the way to turn 1, and he is gaining in the slipstream of Carlos Sainz. Pulls over to the inside. Sainz isn't going to fight that one, and Hamilton, if he is to win this race in the space of 2 laps, has half the arrears that he needs to. That was Valtteri slowing down and obeying those team orders.
Yes, and he had to slow down a lot, didn't he? And he's just trying to break the slipstream now, moving around a lot, probably a bit too much if the truth be known. And there's Hamilton, but trying to go down the outside. Is he going to sweep through? Can he keep it on the road? He can, he's done it.
Hamilton, who's been making a habit of going down the inside into turn 1, this time dances around the outside, and he has done it. He's cleared Sergio Perez, who's got now DRS to try and fight his way back. They're going to go wheel to wheel into Cedar de Lago, and Sergio Perez repasses Lewis Hamilton and reclaims that second place. Inside, outside, outside, inside. Which way is Lewis Hamilton going to go? To the left, to the right? It's going to be to the right. It's going to be round the outsides. And for the second lap, running the crowd cheer as Lewis Hamilton passes Sergio Perez. This time around, he looks a bit further ahead through the Curva del Sol to try and stay ahead. More debris coming off the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll. Bottas is coming into the pits.
Cheap stop for him, isn't it? Very cheap stop. How is this going to work out for him?
Well, it's going to get him ahead of Sergio Perez, that is for sure. And here comes Hamilton on Max Verstappen, down towards turn 1. Verstappen moved and cut out any possibility of an overtake down the inside.
Yeah, but Hamilton will get another helping of the DRS down this back straight. There it goes.
And crucially, Martini is closer than he was on the previous lap. And here goes Lewis Hamilton. He was last at the start of the sprint. He's trying to take the lead from Verstappen, but he is forced wide by Verstappen, and Verstappen himself has to go off the track. Did Verstappen drive Hamilton off the track?
He didn't run into him, but no. Mercedes will think that.
No investigation necessary. They're satisfied in the steward's room that Verstappen did nothing wrong. It's not working out for Mercedes at the moment. Do you stop Hamilton? Well, let's see what happens here. Just wondering if it's not been working out, do Mercedes try anything different? But it is working out at this moment in time. Verstappen is weaving all over the road, and he's going to force Hamilton wide again, and Hamilton can't quite get past on the entry into turn 4. Thought for one moment about the old switcheroo there, forced Verstappen a little bit deeper, cut through on the inside, didn't happen for him. The battle resumed as they go into turn 1, and Hamilton's gaining on Max Verstappen here. Couldn't pull the move off on Verstappen that he did on Lando Norris in the sprint yesterday. Norris didn't really fight that one, to be fair.
But he forced Max to go late into the corner, and he's got a better exit. Hamilton with a much better exit down to turn 4.
I said, is it third time lucky? Hamilton pulls ahead of Verstappen before they get to the corner. The crowd go absolutely wild. It is third time lucky for Lewis Hamilton. He was 20th and last on the grid for the sprint here on lap 59 of the Grand Prix. He has gone from last all the way to first. What a drive this has been from Lewis Hamilton this weekend. Lewis Hamilton now has the checker flag in sight for his 101st win. Hamilton, against the odds, has come home to win the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. What a victory for Lewis Hamilton. He's not ready to loosen his grip on that championship trophy, not just yet. And with 3 races to go, is it very much game on back at the top? 5 lights are on. It's lights out, and away we go. And who's got the best start out of the front? Looks like Rosberg ahead of Hamilton, who will have the inside line into turn 1. Valtteri Bottas just covers off Sergio Perez. Hamilton tries to go down on the inside as Perez locks up, and Hamilton nicks the lead from his teammate Nico Rosberg. It's then Valtteri Bottas losing pace because Felipe Massa has got into 3rd place. We're riding on board now with Jenson Button as Nico Rosberg down towards turn 4, tries to make a move around the outside. Hamilton's got his covered. He's going to have to go the long way round, forced off the track by his teammate Nico Rosberg, but there was no contact made, and it's Hamilton that leads them down the hill. Here comes Nico Rosberg into turn 1 for the lead. This Rosberg against Hamilton. Hamilton fights back. Rosberg has to concede the lead within a matter of meters, but Hamilton, was he caught unaware? Could he see Rosberg coming? He didn't manage to fend him off at the first time, but got the place straight back again.
Warned him, that was not on.
Hamilton, Rosberg part 2, and he's going to try up the inside again. Rosberg, he's got DRS, and this time Lewis Hamilton locks up as well as Nico Rosberg. Now, does that give Rosberg the chance to keep hold of the lead? Looks to me like it does as they move up the hill now. Hamilton just couldn't get the traction to fight right back, but he's now going to get the slipstream, and towards turn 4 we go. Towards the outside of the track, Hamilton is pushed. Rosberg makes his move round that right-hander. Hamilton now trying to fight back down the hill. This is where Rosberg went off on the first lap. This is where Hamilton on lap 19 regains the lead back again. Whoa!
Brilliant driving.
Felipe Massa, who still has the DRS, of course, because he was behind Bottas going into the detection zone. Now in the activation zone, has Nico Hülkenberg got the pace? No. Perez just sat there waiting as well in what is now the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th.
Great racing, and if Massa's got some pace, he needs to deliver it now. Otherwise, Hülkenberg will be at the inside of him in turn 4. He's left him a car's width. Hülkenberg goes a little bit wider. Decent positioning there from Massa.
And look, there's Perez getting a really good exit out of turn 4, and he's going to go wheel to wheel with his teammate down the hill. Hülkenberg nearly touches, has to back out. Perez spied the gap, spied the opening, and forced all 4 tyres through to move ahead of Nico Hülkenberg and into 4th place. Jenson Button, we saw complaining about his DRS, and he's actually moved past Fernando Alonso is locking up Daniel Ricciardo going into turn 1. Meanwhile, turn 4, Perez all over Felipe Massa again, and look, he's trying the same move on Massa as he did on his teammate Hülkenberg, and once again they get close but they don't touch, and once again Perez flexes his way past and shows his muscles and says thank you, I'll have that place. Perez now from Massa, from Hülkenberg. This was Daniel Ricciardo going into turn 1 on Kimi Räikkönen. Locks up, Räikkönen sees him coming, and who emerges out in front? Because they go wheel to wheel, it's Räikkönen out in front. That's Esteban Gutierrez and Pastor Maldonado. Lewis Hamilton pits while we watch the replays, but he just gave him an almighty shunt from the side there. Maldonado coming out of the pits. You have to ask, what was he looking at as he came down the inside?
Whoa, what was that?
Now here goes Daniel Ricciardo towards the inside into turn 1 and Sebastian Vettel. Vettel and Ricciardo, who's coming out on top at Red Bull? It's Daniel Ricciardo into turn 1. Vettel will fight this back as they make their way up the hill, but Ricciardo, no locking up, late braking, got the move done, but he's going to have to survive. Sebastian Vettel coming back at him again as into turn 4 we go. Ricciardo's got the inside line, it serves him well, but can Vettel now get him as they head back down the hill once more and towards turn 8? He's certainly not giving up the world champion, but Ricciardo, with a bit of tape fluttering from that rear wing, puts in a ticker tape overtaking move. 5 laps to go. Hamilton, our race leader. Rosberg in second, gaining all the time. Little bit too far back, but he's going to go for it down the inside.
it,
Has
surely.
he outbraked himself? Yes, he has. Lewis Hamilton comes back into the lead once more.
Yeah, didn't think he would make the braking zone there. That was incredibly late, but it's like last time. He just needs to adjust that by a couple of meters and he'll get the journey. He needs to park it on the apex so Lewis can't get on the throttle.
Or he needs to catch him out in a place where Lewis Hamilton isn't quite expecting it. And Mercedes are going to make it back-to-back 1-2s. It's Lewis Hamilton who once again wins the Grand Prix. Hamilton triumphs in Bahrain from his teammate Nico Rosberg, and it is smiles all round of both celebration and relief in equal measure. They're waiting to start the podium party down at Force India, but Sergio Perez is going to have to hang on and hold off Ricciardo for one more time, and he does so to finish in third. Ricciardo, who started 13th on the grid, takes a brilliant fourth place. A race that could take some time to digest because it just had a little bit of everything.
Where it's lights out and away we go, and Hamilton gets away well. Bottas tries to cover off Verstappen, and then comes Sebastian Vettel. It's wheel to wheel, Bottas and Verstappen. Bottas just squeezes past the Red Bull there. Giovinazzi and Charles Leclerc taking the inside line, which you're not supposed to do at the start, as they try to stay out of trouble. Through Massenet we go. Hamilton ahead of Bottas, Verstappen, Vettel, and then Daniel Ricciardo ahead of Kevin Magnussen. Two Toro Rossos almost getting in a bit of a heat. Nico Hülkenberg behind them. Leclerc goes round the outside of Lando Norris, and there's contact. Kimi Räikkönen on Lance Stroll. Stroll was just straightened up a little bit there by the Alfa Romeo. They all managed to get through the Lowe's hairpin. Charles Leclerc gets past Lando Norris and up into 13th place.
That was pretty bold, and you need a compliant rival at some point in there.
The Ferrari has got through. The defence from Romain Grosjean didn't pay off there, and Leclerc did get through at Rascasse. You've got to hand it to Leclerc. That was pretty smart.
Oh, that one didn't work.
It didn't work at all. Charles Leclerc's gone for it again. This time he tangles with the Renault.
The Ferrari spun by itself. I don't know if he's tapped the barrier on the inside. He hit the barrier with his right rear.
We have a puncture.
Oh dear, and he's now shredding the tyre to pieces and possibly causing a lot of damage, Charles Leclerc.
He's ripping his own floor apart. You have to come back slowly. He's angry, he's frustrated, he's dissecting his own car. It's got to be almost walking pace.
Bottas is away, and that must be an unsafe release because Max Verstappen has come out at the same time. They very, very nearly touched as well. And Max Verstappen has a 5-second time penalty for an unsafe release. Now we have got a car park at Rascasse. George Russell, Nico Hülkenberg can get past, Robert Kubica can get past. Kubica and Leclerc are kind of stuck there, and this is blocking the track. Double waved yellows. Russell gets going, Leclerc gets ahead of Giovinazzi. But what caused this? Let's have a little look now. Down the inside goes Giovinazzi and spins George Russell round. Perez get caught up as well. Charles Leclerc retires from his home race, and what a wretched home race it's been for him. Now this is Kimi Räikkönen.
Again, it just drives into me.
We saw it, Kimi, we saw it. We have you on board.
Just watching here, Kevin Magnussen and Sergio Perez going into the chicane. Magnussen defending hard and rubbing wheels there with Sergio Perez before he then has to cut the chicane to stay ahead.
Man, Kevin got the chicane. I overtook him and he got the chicane.
We've got half the field all in one place, including the leaders trying to get through the back markers.
This is going to get a bit exciting now as Hamilton manages to lap Lance Stroll, who keeps out of the way of Max Verstappen as well. The car in front is a Williams of George Russell, keeps out of the way. There's a chicane appearing at the back as Valtteri Bottas gets compromised a little bit by Lance Stroll, and it's getting even worse for Valtteri Bottas. Vettel skipped through, and Bottas now is stuck behind the racing point.
Yeah, Stroll will not be very popular with that one with Valtteri Bottas.
We're going to lose this race, but I can't look after the tyres anymore. They're dead.
So Lewis, just thinking about it, if we manage to the same pace as the cars in front and you can still hold Verstappen behind.
I can't keep the car behind, Bono. Can you not see that?
Yeah, no problem, Lewis.
Lewis needs this to rain for his particular race afternoon.
Sebastian Vettel, who you could argue, with Verstappen having a 5-second penalty and Hamilton struggling, is still sat in a very nice position as well.
I don't know what you're thinking when you keep these tyres on, man. You need to hope for a miracle.
Mode 7, when you're ready, Max. Mode 7, to the end.
Verstappen has been given more power. You have overtake available.
Oh, that's great news.
Is he going to have a go? Is he going to send one?
Lewis parks the car absolutely perfectly. Now Verstappen tries to switch back. That was super driving, that. Here goes Verstappen down the inside on Lewis Hamilton. They make contact. Hamilton has to cut the chicane. Verstappen does as well. There was definite contact there as Verstappen sent one into the chicane to try and get past.
Yeah, just turns in. I'm trying to overtake.
Hamilton's now going to make it 3 victories around the streets of Monte Carlo and extend his lead at the top of the championship. Hamilton wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel and Valtteri Bottas cross the line, and with Max Verstappen's 5-second penalty, they will take their place on the podium as Pierre Gasly crosses the line for a very impressive 5th place finish.
Lewis, that was a victory worth Nicky. Well done, unbelievable job, congratulations.
We're all set for the start of the British Grand Prix, halfway through the 2024 season. Lights out, away we go. George Russell gets a good getaway. Lewis Hamilton tucks in behind. Watch out for Max Verstappen on the inside of Lando Norris behind. But George Russell comfortably through the first corner into turns 2 and 3. And Verstappen has to keep a little bit of an eye on Piastri behind him. Lando Norris now putting pressure on Hamilton, but runs a wheel over the curve. Verstappen's got the outside line. That works really well for Max Verstappen. He gets in front of the McLaren.
And he's going to have a chance of passing Lewis Hamilton immediately as well. Lewis checks the mirror down the Wellington straight here towards Brooklands, and he doesn't need to go defensive. Verstappen, though, has made a crucial pass there on Norris. Yeah, Lando just puts himself in a bit of a precarious position there with Lewis Hamilton nowhere near alongside to commit to that on the outside. He was just drifting wide, and Max picked up the pieces nicely.
Now let's see what contact here for Alex Albon.
Oh, that's the contact. So it was in the melee with Hulkenberg, but it was actually Fernando Alonso that he hit.
Rain expected in 7 laps, lasting for 10 minutes.
And if it's heavy rain, 10 minutes of it is going to really change things.
Charles Leclerc still keeping the pressure on the green Aston Martin as they head down towards no corner, and Charles Leclerc has a good dive down the inside this time, and Stroll didn't seem to fight that too hard. Charles Leclerc zips past, made it look quite easy.
And this could be a chance for Lando.
You're absolutely right. He was quick through Beckett, quicker than I expected. He's got DRS. Lando Norris is going on the attack, and he passes Max Verstappen. Massive cheers from the grandstands as Lando Norris gets past his huge rival. Norris up into 3rd. And the Australian is really getting that much closer. Whether he's going to be as close as Lando Norris was, let's see. He's got DRS in operation. He's getting that extra straight line speed as they head down towards Stoke Corner. He goes for the inside, and yeah, he's through as well, as long as he can make the corner. It's a bit slippery.
It's raining. It's really slippery. He took the inside line and then immediately thought he'd got in deep. Look, the umbrellas are going up. DRS is still enabled, and Hamilton's going to get it, and he's going to draft straight past Russell here.
George Russell trying to defend from his teammate. Can he do anything? I don't think he can. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the British Grand Prix from his teammate. Mercedes still running 1-2 in the damp conditions, but Hamilton becomes race leader once again here at Silverstone. We've got a long way to go in this race, and conditions are continue to change. Teammate George Russell, both off, both run wide.
And we'll look out for Norris, who stays on the track. Is he going to close right into the pack as well? Russell rejoins just ahead of Norris. Piastri's off in the background. It's really chucking it down, and none of them have pitted. Norris to the inside.
Lando Norris takes 2nd place. That was brilliant stuff by Lando Norris. He saw the 2 Mercedes running deep, and he managed to brake a little earlier.
The track is getting slower and slower. We're now running about 108%. If it hits around 112 before we get through this pocket, then they will have to box. Otherwise, everyone's trying to hold on. Rain, gap, and then big rain coming later.
Look how close Lando Norris is to Lewis Hamilton. There's a real chance he's going to overtake in an unusual area. He's done it. Lando Norris now takes the lead of the British Grand Prix and gets through that corner where there were so many incidents. And now Hamilton's actually back under pressure from his teammate.
So Hamilton found the grip first. Now he's just looks like he's struggling. Russell's there. Piastri around the outside. Can he do the Verstappen move on the first lap? Yes, he can if he can get the power down. George keeps it in on the inside.
Oh, Piastri gets the place. Wobble, wobble. And he's up into third position. This is so tight. And it is wet here. Be careful. Otherwise, it's so easy to go and run wide.
Hamilton's in trouble. Piastri's got a beautiful line on the exit. This could be a McLaren 1-2.
It does look like it. Oscar Piastri getting alongside Lewis Hamilton. Just has to finish the move. Down into Stowe Corner, and he's done it. He's into second place as long as he can hold it together. Yes, that corner's been working very well for him.
Verstappen's going to pit, and Red Bull now roll the dice, which may work because it looks like this is the time to come in for intermediates.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that might be a very good move to come in right now. Sainz coming in as well. It's only Norris who's told to come in, but this could hurt Piastri later. Hamilton's told to come in.
Mercedes double stack. Russell's in behind him. There's Verstappen behind Hamilton, but now ahead of George Russell.
So that is a good, important gain for Max Verstappen.
Piastri will be struggling on this in-lap. He was looking really good as the rain fell, but he was 20 seconds away from a dry pace on the last lap. So this is really going to hurt Oscar Piastri.
And Piastri, you could see, look at the order. He's just dropping down that order. And we shall wait to see whether Hulkenberg... No, he's out well in front of Hulkenberg, in fact. On board with Kevin Magnussen. What was he up to? Oh! My goodness, he did well to save that.
I have seen many a car end up on that inside barrier. You get out wide and look at the moisture coming off that the painted surface on the outside.
Oh, Russell's being told retire the car. George Russell in the pits. Oh my goodness, the man who started from pole position, who took victory last week in Austria. He is out of the British Grand Prix. Oh, he's never had a podium here, and it continues, this time with a DNF. Oh, shake of the head for George.
Hamilton's in and Norris stays out. He comes past the commentary box.
So this is fascinating. Is this going to be the right decision to go onto the slick tyres on this lap? Interestingly, Verstappen has come in as well.
We need to box. The soft is better now. Any slick tyre.
In he comes. This has got to be perfect.
It has.
Hamilton was a second and a half quicker in the middle sector. McLaren might have blown it by staying one extra lap, and Lewis is going to come through if Lando has a decent pit stop with tyres fired up and a chance to win. Lando's so long in his box as well.
It's not a great stop, and Hamilton's just going out of the club corner and heading on down past the start-finish straight. He's going past us, and Lewis Hamilton, I think, is going to be in front as they come out. Yes, there's Hamilton. Hamilton comes out in front of Lando Norris, and the pit stop that Mercedes chose was perfect from that point of view. It has switched the two leaders around, and it's multiple British Grand Prix winner Lewis Hamilton who is now back in front. Watch them through here. If the gap closes between Verstappen and Lando Norris through this part, it stays fairly... No, it's actually a good exit from Max there, though, and the DRS will be coming in. This is a chance to close right in on Lando Norris. Here comes Max Verstappen. He moves to the outside, and he makes the move. He's up into second place, and Lando was not able to fight that. He is about to head for victory as he comes into the final corners here at Silverstone. The crowds are going crazy. Lewis Hamilton wins the British Grand Prix. He takes his 9th win at Silverstone, his first win in nearly 1,000 days in Formula One, his 104th victory ever. Absolutely brilliant.
Get in there, Lewis! You're the man!
Thank you so much, guys. It means a lot. It means a lot to get this one. A big thank you to all the fans here. Love you guys.
And what a sign-off for our joint trajectory here on the British Grand Prix. We couldn't wish for anything better.
This is a lovely moment, isn't it? And you can see the emotion, even though we can't see his face, you can feel the emotion in Lewis with his dad. And this is a really special moment.
It's
It's lights out and away we go. Bottas reacted quickest. Can he now catch Sebastian Vettel? Great battle between the two Renaults. Into turn one we go, and they're all keeping it clean. Vettel ahead of Bottas. Going wide there is Romain Grosjean, might lose a place as a result. Down towards turn two, and it's Bottas ahead of Raikkonen, locking up his brakes there. Nico Hülkenberg on the inside almost gave the Haas of Romain Grosjean a chance. Kimi Raikkonen very slow, going through the parabolica. Max Verstappen is slipstreaming him down towards the hairpin. Sainz is slipstreaming Romain Grosjean as well.
Unbelievable driving still Verstappen, who got a much better start. I thought he got a run up the inside of Raikkonen, couldn't make it stick. Raikkonen slow out of turn four for good measure as well, but he's still covering off the Red Bull in the Ferrari.
Now Lewis Hamilton going all the way round the outside of the Sachs curve, and Hamilton might just have picked up a place on Sergei Sorokin and moved into 13th. Yes, he has. Now, this is Nico Hülkenberg, the two Force Indias ahead of him, rather getting in each other's way.
Yep, thanks for that.
And our race leader was Sebastian Vettel. Kimi Raikkonen has just set a new fastest lap of the race, and Daniel Ricciardo is out. Daniel Ricciardo, who has been making his move up the field.
Losing power. Something's wrong.
Okay, Daniel, stop the car, please. Stop the car.
So for the second time in 3 races, we have lost Daniel Ricciardo. Dark clouds overhead as 2 scarlet red Ferraris lead the silver arrows of Mercedes, the 1, 2, 3. The top 2 have pitted. Hamilton running third, hasn't so far. His teammate Valtteri Bottas not lapping too badly in 4th place, a long way clear of Max Verstappen as well.
Rain prediction in 10-15 minutes.
Vettel hanging back. I think he is hanging back, and I think he's probably doing that to show what lap time he can do when he's not quite so close to his teammate.
So, Kimi, this is Jock. You two are on different strategies. Your strategies are slightly different, and we'd like you not to hold up, Seb. Thank you.
Do you want me to let him go? Please, just tell me.
That is the 2018 version of Fernando is faster than you. Played out on the team radio, and you could see exactly what the result was. Lock up from Valtteri Bottas behind Lewis Hamilton into the hairpin. Looks to me like Mercedes have got the situation that Ferrari found themselves in, Martin, where they need to swap their drivers around.
Yeah, by going long has brought Hamilton into play. I think if it rains, any one of the top 5 could still win this Grand Prix.
They are standing by down at Mercedes for a set of ultra soft tyres for Hamilton.
Okay, Lewis, so box, 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 box.
So they can't wait for the rain, or they don't think the rain's going to be coming, but Mercedes taking what could be a big gamble here. Ultra soft tyres to the end of the race if it stays dry, and he'll come back out into the race itself behind Max Verstappen.
Okay, Lewis, so we think a light rain may appear turn 6, but it is very light. I think you'll have the best chance on this. You've got the newest rubber.
Yeah, it's just right, half wet, half dry track. You'll be seconds faster on a fresh set of those ultras. It's on this rain, look at that.
Yeah, oh,
that's more than a light sprinkling.
And it's turn 6 though, and that's exactly where Hamilton is now. As we watch through turn 1 here, Charles Leclerc. Oh, and that was nothing to do with the rain whatsoever, but that was a perfectly executed pirouette.
Well, I think his middle name is Lucky today. His tyres won't agree with that, mind you. They're full wets on that, for goodness sake.
Wow.
What on earth?
And rightly abandoning that idea, Toro Rosso, with no water to keep those tyres cooled down. Pierre Gasly will be limping around this track like a camel who's been wandering the desert for 10 years.
Are we at the same venue as this race, Crofty? Is this, look at Bottas up the inside of Raikkonen, is he?
It is Bottas on the inside of Raikkonen. At the hairpin, Raikkonen struggling more. You'd think both Finns would be adept to conditions as if it were driving on ice. Kimi manages just to stay ahead. And now Kevin Magnussen under pressure as Raikkonen goes round the outside of him, and Raikkonen goes off the track, and there's a Force India of Sergio Perez spinning off the track as well and kicking up a whole load of dirt as he lights up his tyres in a bid to get back on the racetrack, and Bottas is ahead of Kimi Raikkonen. Is it out of the race? Sebastian Vettel. He has been leading almost from start to finish, but now he's out of this race.
Sake. Sorry, guys.
Safety car deployed.
And that will at least slow things down. But what tyres do they put on Valtteri Bottas first? It's all confusion down at the Mercedes garage. They weren't ready with the ultra soft tyres. That's what they want to be putting on, Martin, not the soft tyres that they initially thought.
So box, 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 box. Get the gap. So gap to Valtteri is.
Keep me saying now.
No, stay out. In.
Hey man.
No, sorry, mate. Hey, just go. Good.
Lewis Hamilton leads the Grand Prix. With Kimi Raikkonen pitting, Hamilton has now taken over in the lead behind the safety car, and we're racing once again. Down through the parabolica we go.
No DRS for a couple of laps, but look at the extra grip Valtteri Bottas has got. Is he going to have a go? Hamilton, he is indeed. He's going steaming down the outside. What's Hamilton going to do about that?
Defend for all his might, but Bottas, switcheroo at the hairpin, now is wheel to wheel with Hamilton. No team orders at Mercedes. As towards the Mercedes-Benz grandstand they go. Hamilton, by half a car length, now a car and a half, has the lead still.
Valtteri, it's James. Please hold position. I'm sorry.
Copy, James.
But today, in Germany, it's not going to be Sebastian Vettel's day. Lewis Hamilton regains the lead in the championship. Lewis Hamilton, from 14th on the grid, wins the German Grand Prix. And for the first time in Germany, Mercedes have a 1-2 finish to regain the lead in the Constructors' Championship.
Get in there, Lewis. Miracles do happen, mate.
Guys, what an amazing job by you guys. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Love conquers all.
It's lights out and away we go. Verstappen gets away well. Can he catch the two Mercedes? Hamilton out in front of Bottas, who's got the inside line going into Abbey. Hamilton only just into the lead, ahead of Bottas and Verstappen, and it's Charles Leclerc. Great start from him. Lance Stroll is putting Lando Norris under pressure. There's a lock-up as well, as round the outside of the Ferrari goes Max Verstappen, and going wide is Kimi Raikkonen in the Alfa Romeo. Now we head down to the Wellington Straight, and Hamilton leads from Bottas.
Verstappen got a better exit, better traction out of turn 4 and gained the position. Leclerc, though, in the slipstream. And look at Norris, too, at the inside of Brooklands.
And Carlos Sainz locks up behind Lando Norris, and round the outside comes Daniel Ricciardo, and Lance Stroll is getting squeezed a little bit as well. Hamilton leads, has got clear daylight between himself and Valtteri Bottas. Sainz is making a move on Charles Leclerc, gets into the slipstream as we head now towards Cox. Hamilton and then Bottas, Verstappen, Leclerc, then Sainz, Ricciardo ahead of Norris. He tried to do it last year, 12 months on, he's got that move absolutely done, has Daniel Ricciardo, and he moves up into 5th place. Wow! Oh, and there is off is Kevin Magnussen, and you can see there a wheel has come off his front left, that looks like, and that's the Haas into the gravel at Club at the end of the first lap. That might be a safety car. It is a safety car. We've got another one here at Silverstone. Here's Alex Albon on the inside of Kevin Magnussen. Have they touched? Oh, yes, they have.
I think he had to get out of the throttle. He collected a lot of curb on the inside of Club Corner in the Haas.
Are you okay, Kevin? Are you okay?
Yeah, good.
Someone's had a very, very big crash, and it's Danny Kvyat in the Alpha Tauri. And I hope he's okay, because once again we see wheels coming loose. Once again we see the safety car.
Yeah, right rear tyre puncture, or let's call it a puncture for now.
Oh, guys, I'm so sorry.
Are you okay, Danny?
Yes.
I don't think that's his fault.
We now see Lewis Hamilton coming in, Valtteri Bottas and Max Verstappen coming into the pits. The top 3 maintain their order. Leclerc should come out in 4th place as well. As we start racing again into Village, round the outside of Daniel Ricciardo goes Lando Norris. He's now got the inside line, gets squeezed a little bit with Carlos Sainz there as well, but Sainz might be able to help him out. No, Ricciardo just keeps ahead of the McLaren. That battle's going to carry on down the Wellington Straight.
So we had a bit of speedway team play going on there, but Daniel, ever the wise old fox, is still right in the hunt.
And Carlos Sainz ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. Round the outside goes Lando Norris. Lando Norris has this time got Daniel Ricciardo, and maybe it was 2 onto 1, and an unfair advantage that McLaren got, but he got his man, and Norris isn't satisfied with Juan Renault. He wants his teammate as well, and goes wide. And Copse, does that let Ricciardo pass? No, he's dropped back a little bit. Norris trying to make a move through Copse.
Vettel there passing Gasly. Gasly then maintaining position by running off the track. I think the stewards, and yeah, he has a breach track limit, so the stewards may ask him to give that place to Vettel. They're fighting over 10th.
On board with Esteban Ocon. The car in front, Lance Stroll, just been shown the black and white flag, and once again I think that's for driving standards, and Ocon makes the most of that opportunity and goes round the outside at Brooklands and puts himself up into 8th place. Nice move from Ocon. There is Kimi Räikkönen. As you can see, he has lost a huge part, if not all of it, on the left-hand side of his front ring.
There we go, into Maggots.
Oh, you see it scraping on the ground. Did he go over a curb and it just...
no, I tell you what's happened. The front wing's broken and I think punctured the front tyre. It has. Yeah. It's machined a groove in the tyre.
Lance Stroll in 9th place at the moment has Pierre Gasly catching him, and that racing point looks a very, very difficult beast to handle at the moment for the young Canadian.
Well, we've accused it of being the pink Mercedes, but it doesn't look like a pink Mercedes today.
This Silverstone race is starting to really come alive here. This is Alex Albon. He's down in 12th place and has the fastest lap at the moment. Think that Vettel on the pace. He's at the moment, and what's happened to Valtteri Bottas? He's gone wide, and now Max Verstappen can see the Mercedes and can see him in his rear wing. He has passed.
Yeah, left front puncture there. Yeah, left more than a puncture. That's Albon taking Vettel.
It is.
It looks like a delamination of the tyre. And Mercedes will be extremely worried. No wonder it's vibrating. Will be extremely worried for Lewis Hamilton.
And this is Verstappen now coming in because they know Valtteri Bottas is going to have to come into the pits. Leclerc's not going to be a challenge at all. It's a free pit stop for Red Bull, and it stops them having any tyre issues as well. There goes Alex Albon, who's up into the points and now scoring another World Championship point because he's now 9th. Lance Stroll goes down to 10th as Daniel Ricciardo gets past Carlos Sainz, and he's got tyre problems as well. Has Carlos Sainz, who's going to be passed now by his teammate Lando Norris. And that is Lewis Hamilton, and Hamilton is winning the Grand Prix. But look at the state of that Mercedes car. He's going through Maggots and Beckett's at the moment. Hamilton's tyre's gone. Verstappen's just going through Woodcote. He's about 4 corners behind. This is now Lewis Hamilton praying that the checkered flag comes as soon as is humanly possible. The gap between Hamilton and Verstappen going down all the time, 20 seconds at the moment, as down the hangar straight comes Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen just going through, you can see him in the background, going through Chapel, through Stowe now with Lewis Hamilton. There. Well, they shouldn't catch him from there, but who knows how this race is going to end.
Can we win this?
Get on with it.
If you get on with it, it's the right instruction through the Vale chicane. Look how difficult it was to stop. But for Lewis Hamilton, the checkered flag will come in the nick of time for a 7th British Grand Prix victory and a record 7th British Grand Prix victory for the most wins at home. It's Lewis Hamilton who takes the race. Max Verstappen comes home to take second. Charles Leclerc for Ferrari picking up a 2nd podium of the season, ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. This is where the tyre went for Valtteri Bottas.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally just going past the pits.
This is the race winner, Lewis Hamilton, going through Luffield and Woodcote when his tyre went, and well, it's a good job he had 30 seconds over Max Verstappen, otherwise he wouldn't be winning today.
Lewis Hamilton begins the process then for the restart. He's got to get that exit absolutely right, trying to weave around, get some temperature into his brakes now and into his tyres as well, and now releases and goes, and we are racing here at Interlagos for proper. After 6 laps behind the safety car, we are now going for it at the Brazilian Grand Prix, and it's Hamilton and the spray that's been kicked up behind him down the back straight. Goes Nico Rosberg, then Kimi Räikkönen. Max Verstappen's very close to Räikkönen. He might have a go here into turn 1. Verstappen on the inside of Räikkönen, catches the fin napping and moves up into 3rd place. Great move from the Red Bull driver. Then comes Vettel and Ricciardo and Hülkenberg. Whoa, there's a spin. Sebastian Vettel onto the grass. Daniel Ricciardo gets out of the spray of Vettel because Vettel's got a massive problem now. He's facing the wrong way. Did he take too much curb?
I don't know, but
did he find some standing water?
That's a terrifying place to be. Yeah. Terrifying position. He's out of it now, thankfully.
There
there is Marcus Ericsson, just past the point where Romain Grosjean crashed before the start of this race. Ericsson looks like he's hit the wall as well. The safety car has been deployed, and no one's going to be able to come into the pits yet, Martin, because he's blocking the pit lane entrance. Yeah. Hamilton's got a good start again, as for the second time in this race he leads the field away as the safety car peels in. Hamilton then from Rosberg accelerating up towards the main straight they go. Behind them under pressure is the Red Bull, and it's Kimi Räikkönen into the wall, and he almost collects the Red Bull, who does actually hit the front wing. That is a major incident for Kimi Räikkönen. He is out of this race, the second Ferrari to have problems. And there goes Lewis Hamilton then, up towards the start-finish line. Rooster tails spraying out from behind that Mercedes. Verstappen is close to Rosberg. Hamilton towards the centre S as he goes. Under braking, Verstappen is late on Rosberg but can't quite close up. Rosberg keeps that second place. Behind them comes Sergio Perez, and then Carlos Sainz and Daniel Ricciardo. And oh, there's a very wide turn there by Felipe Nasser, almost making contact with Esteban Ocon. Now down the Retroposta we go. The spray behind us, now see Max Verstappen overtaking Nico Rosberg.
The boy just goes and finds grip everywhere else. Okay, you're going there, I'll just go somewhere else then and see how it is out there.
This is Max Verstappen. Oh, Max Verstappen! Can he keep it out of the barriers? Just.
It was a good save right at the end not to hit the barriers, because if he'd have kept on there, he let the brakes off just at the right time to keep it out of the barriers.
Daniel Ricciardo is setting fast sectors. There goes Sebastian Vettel on the inside of Fernando Alonso. Has he made that move stick? Oh, just comes out ahead of Fernando Alonso. Great scrap. We've not seen these two together like this for so long, and Alonso is forced wide, comes back out onto the track again. He's not going to give this one up. He might have to, and he might want to say a few things over the team radio about the treatment just dished out to him. Oh, and there is Felipe Massa in his final Brazilian Grand Prix. Felipe Massa won't see the checkered flag.
Yeah, that's finished.
Yeah, okay. Let me see. You okay?
Yeah. It's okay.
As he gets a guard of honour from Mercedes, and that is a lovely sight. I think all the agony is going to be washed away with this embrace. That's now a massive benefit for Nico Rosberg, because the man that was his biggest challenger today, well, his teammate Lewis Hamilton, who's still leading the race, but Verstappen's now going to get relegated. Verstappen on those tyres for 19, but nonetheless, oh, he's giving it a right go again. Isn't he? Vettel comes to cover him off, but in doing so, he allows Verstappen the opportunity down the inside. Do they make contact? Sebastian Vettel yields and goes onto the grass as well.
You can see he's playing around with the grip, he's looking at different areas.
Here he goes.
He's going to have a go.
He's going to have a go. He's going to have a go.
Get the traction. Does he nearly, almost, come on, hang in there. He's going to brave it out. Come on, lad, you can do it. He's done it. There you go.
And the crowd are cheering like crazy underneath us.
It is a first ever victory at Interlagos. The man with the Senna tribute helmet for this weekend takes the checkered flag and wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's Hamilton once more for the third race in a row taking the victory, but it's his teammate Nico Rosberg who continues to lead in the championship, reaches second place. That'll do nicely. 12 points between the two Mercedes drivers, and it's off to Abu Dhabi we go. Max Verstappen raises a finger in celebration this time to his team on the pit wall, and Lewis Hamilton with a massive grin because he's won the circuit that means so much to him. The Turkish Grand Prix, it's lights out and away we go, and they are crawling off the line, especially Max Verstappen. Hamilton though gets a really good start, passes two cars already. Stroll is in the lead going into turn one ahead of his teammate Sergio Perez. Hamilton on the inside of Daniel Ricciardo as Esteban Ocon and crucially Valtteri Bottas spin out and away onto the runoff area at turn one. That is a horrendous start for Bottas, not what he would have wanted. Sebastian Vettel already ahead of Max Verstappen, and Alex Albon in the thick of it as well.
So Stroll leads Perez, and there going wide is Lewis Hamilton. I was going to say Stroll leads Perez, leads Hamilton, but no, leads Sebastian Vettel. What a start from him from 11th on the grid. Now Alex Albon is overtaking Lewis Hamilton as well. And Max Verstappen, I should say, is overtaking Lewis Hamilton as well. Here comes Alex Albon. He might fancy a run at the Mercedes going into the next corner because he's got hotter tyres. Hamilton's been off the track. Down the inside goes Alex Albon. Does he take the place? Hamilton will try and fight it if he can, but he just hasn't got the grip to do so. He's skating around on thin ice at the moment as Albon manages to get past the Mercedes. It's the run down towards turn 7, and that is how he managed to get past the Ferrari. Seems that he switched his tyres on a little bit better than the two around him.
Max Verstappen's asked a really valid question. Why haven't they enabled DRS?
I'm not sure they ever enable DRS when you're on intermediates and wet. Oh, look at that.
Here we go.
There's a chance for Max Verstappen.
Because Sergio Perez didn't get out of that little chicane very well at all, and Verstappen is hot on his tail, and Perez keeps ahead by a metre through turn 11. And Verstappen goes wide and spins as well. He got caught up behind the rear wing of Sergio Perez, and that has proved very costly indeed. He's avoided the barriers, but his teammate Alex Albon now cruises past and goes into third place, and Verstappen through the mud back onto the track again, has lost the podium place and also lost 4th and 5th to Vettel and Hamilton.
Frustration coming through there for Max Verstappen. That's not the smartest thing I've ever seen him do.
No.
Valtteri Bottas.
He's going to want to forget this weekend.
At least his third spin today, isn't it?
He is going to want to forget this weekend as quickly as possible. Here's Lando Norris on George Russell. 11th place up for grabs with this move, and he sends one down the inside, bounces off the Williams and manages to squeeze himself up into 11th.
Just punched me off the road.
Yeah, saw that.
We're watching Carlos Sainz, who's gaining on Daniel Ricciardo at the moment. And Daniel Ricciardo not having the best of times through that little chicane out of turn 10 and 11. Carlos Sainz ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. Sainz moves himself up into 6th place, and in the end the lack of grip that the Renault was suffering made it a lot easier for Sainz than he first thought it might be.
Charles Leclerc, the canary in the coal mine again, is putting a lot of people into the pits for new intermediates, 4 seconds a lap quicker than everybody else on the new intermediates. And the new inters go on. It's a clean pit stop. Oh no, now there's a problem on the right hand side. That's what you didn't need, Seb. But he's away again.
And that's Alex Albon, who has spun around. Talking of costly incidents, how costly is that going to be for Alex Albon? Lewis Hamilton moves into 3rd place. So, new set of intermediate tyres go on for Lance Stroll. Good pit stop from the Racing Point crew, 3.2 seconds, and he'll be back out into the race. Sorted it all out, and there's Verstappen coming through on Lance Stroll. So Stroll has pitted there for a 2nd time and is now behind Max Verstappen. Hamilton, by not pitting, really catching up to Sergio Perez now.
Where this plays into Verstappen's hands is if we do go to slicks, as if the next transition, that wins him back his pit stop effectively, doesn't it?
Here goes Hamilton on Sergio Perez. He's got DRS. Hamilton is going to make a move into turn 12. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the Turkish Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel ahead of Lance Stroll. Stroll's going to keep coming back and trying to get this place once more, and he goes wheel to wheel and gets back past Sebastian Vettel. Charles Leclerc ahead of Max Verstappen, waiting to pick up the scraps. Stroll has fallen back behind Charles Leclerc. The two Ferraris now ahead of the one-time race leader.
Can't see that rain in the distance. We'll see if it happens, but it's
Charles
very cold.
Leclerc is now ahead of Sebastian Vettel. He's got his teammate, and Charles Leclerc moves up into 4th place.
Hamilton is now a pit stop clear of Max Verstappen.
Pit stop clear of Charles Leclerc now, because Leclerc has just got past Max Verstappen. 39 laps Hamilton's had those tyres on, 34 laps for Perez. Here goes Carlos Sainz on Alex Albon. Albon thought about trying to move over to the left, realised that the McLaren was there and he couldn't, and Alex Albon has conceded 5th place then.
Well, there's a set of inters that just aren't working whatsoever as Lance Stroll goes off the track. Lando Norris gets past the man who started on pole, moves up into 8th place in this race. You've got a feel for Lance Stroll. The World Championship record is equalled. Lewis Hamilton wins the Turkish Grand Prix and is a 7-time champion of the world.
Delight in the Hamilton side of the garage. Look at this little battle. Charles
Leclerc locks up on Sergio Perez. He was trying a move to get 2nd place in this race. Perez comes back at him. Sebastian Vettel comes back at Charles Leclerc. Sergio Perez, for the 3rd time in his Formula One career, can see the checkered flag and takes 2nd place in a race. Sergio Perez on the podium. Sebastian Vettel is back on the podium. And Charles Leclerc, who had the podium in his sights, has to settle for 4th.
Thank you so much, guys. Woo! Woo! That's for all the kids out there who dream the impossible. You can do it too, man. I believe in you guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support.
Just take a moment to think about what this man has achieved in this sport. He is the greatest of all time.